Okay, so for the first problem, we're on question 1. So as you can see here, you combine like terms, and well, the equation equals 3, and then you combine like terms, get 18 over y, and then you multiply y by both sides, and get 18 over 3 equals 3y over 3, and then you just divide that and get 6 equal y. Easy enough. Next, number 2. Number 2, a builder of tract homes reduced the price of a model by 10%. If the new price is 180,000, what is its original price? How much could be saved by purchasing the model? So focus on the numbers. What's the price of the model? 10%, aka 0.1k, and the new price is 180,000. So as you can see here, the equation is the new price is the original price minus the original price times 10%, because you're reducing it by 10% of the discount. So that's what you do in this equation. You just solve for x, because you're trying to find the original price. And then for b, you want to find how much was saved by purchasing the model. So you just do the save price, or the discount price minus, or the original price minus the discount price. So question 3, I got this wrong because I messed up first, but so you start out with this equation, and you want to, it says by the square root method, so you want to take the square root of both sides. So the square root of x minus 1 squared is just x minus 1, and the square root of 81 is 9, which is what you show here. And then you solve for x, which would just be adding 1 and getting 10. But another square root of 81 is negative 9, because negative 9 times negative 9 gets rid of the negative. And then you just solve for x again, which would just add 1 to negative 8, or to negative 9 and get negative 8. So that's the answer there. So question 4. Question 4, you just combine like terms. So just 5 minus 8, negative 4 minus minus 9i, as you can see here, and you just get negative 3 minus 13i. So for question 5, it says you need to solve the equation using the quadratic formula. So you just plug in the numbers into the quadratic formula, negative e blah blah blah, you can see it there. Plug it in, solve it, and just solve using math. Number 6, find the real solutions. That just means, just don't worry about what that means. So all you do is square root, or square off of the square root. You take it to the power of 2 to get rid of square root. So you get 5x minus 6 equals 9, and then you just solve for x and get x equals 3. All right, question 7. Inequalities is an inequality. You can just solve like it is, like if it was an equal sign here. So you just add 8 and then divide by 5, and you get x equals 2 is where the boundary is. So because it would just be x, any number greater than 2. That's what it would end up looking like. And so you graph that by using this. And it's this graph because it's open-ended. It's got the curve because it doesn't have the line underneath of this. It's not greater than or equal to. So it's got that, and then it just goes to infinity. Next question, number 8. Here, since it's an absolute value, you have to solve for the positive possibility and the negative possibility. So you just, like a normal equation, you minus 1 and make it simple. And then you have the terms be negative and positive. So you'll have 2 minus 2t, and you'll have negative 2 plus 2t. You just reverse both of them, but you solve for both. And both of these are the answer. And you can see how I solved here. Just algebra. All right, number 9. So here you have to find the distance between these 2 points, and here are the coordinates of the points. And so here's the distance formula. It looks a little bit scary, but all you do is just do run square. It's Pythagorean theorem. So you do run, which is 4, square that, plus the rise squared, which is 5 squared, 25. Then you do 25 plus 16, which is 41, which means this is just the square root of 41, as you can see here. You can see my work over here. Okay, question 10. Question 10, it's the same thing as distance formula, except it's midpoint formula. So the way you do midpoint is you just add these two numbers and then divide it by 2. And that's it. So -3 plus 6 would be 3, divided by 2 is 3 over 2. And then 6 plus 0 divided by 2 is 3. So that's it. Number 11 is you have to find the slope and the y-intercept. So the slope is just the number in front of the x, the coefficient. And then I have to find the y-intercept. So you find the y-intercept by setting x to 0. As you can see, y would equal 1 because a third times 0 is just 0 plus 1 is 1. And then you graph it. You first graph the y-intercept. You put a point at the y-intercept. Y-intercept is the x value is always 0. Always 0. So x is 0, up 1. That's it. And then you just go rise over run. So the slope is 1/3. So up 1 over 3. And that's how you graph that. All right, question 12. Question 12 is system of equations. This method is where you just combine the two equations, which is what I did here. You just add them both. And since you do that when you see how it's like a -5y and a +5y, those cancel each other out, so you just have x. So it easily solves for x here, and it simplifies down to 9/4, and then you plug x back into the equation, and you just solve that using, combining like terms in algebra, and you'll get y equals 1/5. And so that's the answer. So this next question, it's solved using a different method. You want to solve for x here. So you just subtract y, and then you plug x back into the bottom equation. So as you can see here, you plug it back in, because 200 times 25. Wait, did I do this wrong? No, I didn't. Hold on. I'm tripping. Oh, those are arrows, not 2s. Okay, I thought it was squared for some reason. Anyways. Yeah, you just plug it back into the equation, solve for y, and then plug y into either one of these equations and solve for x, or vice versa. Okay, question 14. I don't know why it's showing 13 here. Get out of here. Okay, so for circle equation, this is the circle formula. All you really need to care about is finding the radius and the circle, or the midpoint. So all it is, it's remember the friends analogy. It's just opposite whenever they're inside. So it's -6, -2. So that's where the center is right here. And then the radius is 3. So you just go up 3, over 3, down 3, or up 3, right 3, down 3, right 3, or left 3. And that makes the circle. And that's it. Because you find the radius because 9 is equal to r squared. So you just take the square root of both of these and get 3. Okay, that's question 14. Don't worry about over here now. I'm going to expand this. So in order for a function to be true, or in order for a graph to be a function, every x value needs to be assigned to only one y value. So this is a function because each x value is assigned to, hold on. I don't even understand this. I'll explain this to you almost separately. Skip that. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward. As the graph function, using the vertical line test, is there an x value where there's two y values? No, so that means it's a function. And then domain is negative infinity to infinity because there's no holes in the x-axis in the x values. And then the range is negative infinity to 8 because it has arrows down here and just goes to negative infinity, and it stops at 8, at y value of 8. And then the intercepts are 8, 0 right here, 8, 0, or negative 8, 0, or negative 0, wait, 8, negative, 0, negative 8, and then 0, 8, and then, never mind, you can tell, you know what I'm talking about. It is symmetrical because if you cut it down the middle, it's the same on both sides. Question 17, local minimum at x equals negative 3. Well, at x negative 3, it is at the minimum local min. Local min is just like what's on the graph. The local minimum is at what y value? Well, you just go down here and find the y value, which is negative 9. Simple enough. Question 18, this you kind of have to, this is just memorization. You can't, there's no explanation for this.